Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's your host, Sneha, and this is the third episode of Mindful Tangent. So, today we're going to be talking about trends that have gone throughout the years. Some stay, some go. Usually, history is a repeat of itself. Does anyone remember? I believe this is around 2009, 2013 time. And there was a time where girls, specifically in my school, I don't remember if men did it or guys did it at all, but they would put tinsel and feathers in their hair. And I'm like, who started this trend? I mean, the tinsel, I'm not going to lie, it looked really nice. I didn't have tinsel in my hair nor a feather, but the feather bothered me so much because a lot of people were just getting these huge feathers and just putting it in their hair, and I never understood why that became a trend. Now, I'm not talking about people that culturally put it in. That's a different story. These are just, I live in a very majority white town, so it was kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. And, trends just, some of them stick, some of them go. Thank God that went, because that was just a little weird. I think people, though, still put tinsel in their hair when they go to concerts and so forth, which is still cute. But the feather, no, we're not doing the feather just for a fashion. Okay, people? That's a little weird. Another trend, and obviously all these things I've only noticed when I was in high school, because when you get older, maybe you don't just keep up with times, really, of what is on trend and what's not. But in high school, and I don't know if it's still a thing in high school, is that teenage girls, usually the Caucasians or white people, would tan their skin. And it was the most weirdest thing for me personally, because coming from an Indian background, you don't go tanning. Or, usually, like, not my parents specifically, but other people would be like, don't go outside, you will get dark, and you don't want to get dark, the beauty, beauty, beauty. I don't know nonsense is that, but I'll tell you right now, no matter what your skin tone is, you are beautiful no matter what. Doesn't matter about the sun. But anyways, coming from that background, it was weird. When it's time for prom or homecoming, these chicks would go, no joke, frying pan, okay? They go into frying pan. They literally lie in a bed to burn their skin. Not like naturally in the sun. Okay, I could get that. Like if we're going outside or going and playing on the beach or just lying in the beach. Like those are like naturally. This is like they were going into a tanning bed and frying their skin. Some of them I've seen that they put oil. Oh my God. God bless them all that they don't got skin cancer. But like it was just crazy. And then I remember it was like a huge thing back in the day. There was one lady, not from my town or anything, on the news, and she was like leather. Okay, leather. Her skin was horrible, and she herself recognized that it was from all the tanning, and she was obsessed with looking dark, so forth. But it's just crazy, like the beauty standards or trends that go on. And going back to the whole high school moment, these girls would always tan their skin when it's homecoming, when it's prom, and to them, they believed that was beautiful to do that when you're going and wearing a dress. I don't know who taught them that. I think it was pretty dumb. It's not like anyone would look any better with the tan skin. No offense, none taken. Whoa. But they would have looked perfectly fine with their natural skin tone. But nowadays, and even then too, people did do the spray tans as well, which was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, because when they came out, they'd just be like orange hands and so forth, and I'm like, ooh, what is wrong with these people? But hey, sometimes when we're young, we just follow the trends because that's what everyone else is doing. It's not like we're mature enough at that time to understand that maybe we shouldn't be doing these things, But I do think that's parents' responsibility to come in right there and be like, you stupid. But, hey, what can we do? We can't tell everyone how to live their life. And if they choose it, they guess they'll only face the consequence, if there are any consequences later on. So we've already gone through the feathers, the tinsel, the tanning. Okay, there was one more from high school that I specifically remember. I do not know why people did it, but hey. So when I was in high school, I couldn't color my hair. I colored my hair much, much later. Color meaning dyeing or bleaching. And I remember all the time there would be people that would dye their hair dark during the winter and then like blondish during the summer. And I guess that's like a thing. I never heard of that before, but like they specifically did it. And every fall it would be one color. When it gets hotter, it would be another color, which is fun. But once again, me learning from my experience also from dyeing my hair, you'll damage your hair unless like you use minimal bleach. Your hair is going to get damaged and you're going to regret it like I did. Fun fact, not fun fact, because it's a fact, but it's not fun. I bleached my hair many years ago, but I've been bleaching since. But what happened was I always bleach, and it's not like thinking I'm turning blonde. Don't ever think that. It's just like a very light brown. No, not very light brown. It's like a slight light brown. This is not getting anywhere. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that I use a specific brand because sometimes I'll do it and then I get tired of it and then I dye my hair black. It's just how I am. So one day I always use Garnier Fructis. You know that little capsule that ampule, you just pump it in or like squeeze it in, and it makes your hair nice and soft after you dye it and all that stuff. Great. Well, guess what? That was not at that store that day. So then I get another dye, times rhymes with, sorry, not times with, rhymes with terol. So I put that in my hair. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it has to do with the other products that went in my hair, like, like my deep conditioning and all that. But when I tell you, my hair fell out in chunks, okay? Fell out in chunks. I still have a picture to this day on my Google Photos showing my hair. Like, my hair was bald, and I was freaking out, and I literally had to go on like a journey of putting like castor oil and all that, and my hair eventually grew back, but that was a horrible time. So please be careful if you ever decide to follow a trend and you decide to do it in your own bathroom. First, don't. I mean, if you can, maybe, but be very, very careful because these are all chemicals at the end of the day. And they may have not such a good reaction if mixed with other things, or maybe your skin just doesn't do well with certain brands. So I'd be very, very, very careful about those. In terms of other trends, I remember elementary school, I'm not going to lie, I didn't live in this world. When I say I didn't live in this world, I was just living my life, did not pay attention to anything. But in middle school, or maybe it was high school, we had those rubber bands that were shaped like animals, right? I always wondered, like, why did we all think about those things were so cool? It was just a random thing, you know what I mean? And for girls especially, I feel like we catch on to trends so quickly compared to boys, or they only have like one every like 5 or 6 years. But like we had the rubber band shaped like animals. I think it was the Alex and Annie bracelets. Of course, our Pandora bracelets with the charms and so forth. And even now, like I look back at the kids that are now teenagers, I'm like, oh, so much money. But then if you look at every time in history when people are teenagers, their parents are always willing to spend money for their kids, even if it's a small thing and may not be used later on, right? So who can we be the judge of? I mean, we can, but we shouldn't. And related to that topic is cell phones. Now, I guess it's not a trend, a cell phone. It's just technology has greatly enhanced, and society uses social media and technology so much more than they used to when, for instance, when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie, like when I was young, ew, what is this? There's some nasty stuff on my laptop. Sorry, everybody. When I was in 6th, 7th grade at that time, my parents worked, so I walked myself to school and home. And so they got me the Crazer. I don't know if anyone remembers. I had like a red hot Crazer. Ask me how many times that thing came out of my backpack. 0. Okay? 0. I did not use it whatsoever. Like, it was just more of like as an emergency. If I need to call my parents, I can. Other than that, I did not use it at all. And I remember kids would be like, oh my gosh, you have a cell phone? I'm like, yeah, but like, what am I going to do with it? Like, nothing. And it just sits in the front pocket, did not move. Then finally, when we got to high school, was when everyone got their cell phones. And if you think about it, at that time, right, that's when like the texting cell phones came out. I'm pretty sure the people that are in their late 20s and 30s were like, why do high schoolers need a cell phone just to talk to each other's friends? You know what I mean? So it's not like there's any difference, except now they're called iPhones and so forth. And you can tell that, you don't want your kids or anyone to feel left behind. So parents are going to feel that pressure to get cell phones for their kids, especially nowadays with iPhones and smartphones and so forth. But hey, everything's on the internet now, so you don't want to be left behind technically. But it's kind of scary how a baby can like go through your phone. That freaks me out just like a tiny bit. But with phones, it's not as fun as fashion trends, I personally believe, because it's always funny to look back and be like, what the heck was everyone thinking? Do you guys remember at one point in history, when we were going to dances and so forth or any formal event, there were these dresses, right? It was, just imagine this, for those of you that are not from America or were not part of this weird cultural stuff, I guess if you call it culture, a girl would wear a dress and it would literally be a solid color on top. There would be a ribbon kind of to accentuate your waist, I guess, and the rest would be animal print. Okay, I am not kidding you, animal print. Looking back at it now, I do not know why that was a trend. It was horrible. Now, the idea of like the ribbon and all that stuff, that's still a thing, but like it is the fact that it was just so out there, and it was usually like a white little like top portion, a hot pink ribbon, and then the rest of the dress would be like a zebra print. And I'm like, who thought this was a good idea? Because this was obviously not a good idea whatsoever. And then there was a time when everyone decided to just dress business casual. I'm not kidding you, business casual. If the girls out there know, I think there was a store called Francesca's. I'm probably absolutely wrong about this. But pretty much you get these chunky necklaces. Girls would wear these peplup or Penelope. I think it's peplup shirts and so forth. It literally, if you look back now, people dressed better to go to work then than they do now. Like in high school. In high school, where were we going? To the gym. But we were wearing business casual to go to gym class. It was crazy. And it's just like, and nowadays, even on TikTok, I still see there's one lady that was doing it where she was wearing business casual and going to work. It was not going to work, going to school. And the mom's like, oh, okay. And absolutely insane that we were just wearing work clothes at that young age. And the thing is, not just us teenagers, it was like everyone, right? It was a trend. So everyone thought it was cool to wear those big chunky necklaces and so forth, and like dress all business casual. And thank God that left. Okay, thank God. Now, this other trend is what I saw on TikTok. So, as you all know, I think I said it in a previous episode, once TikTok hears you, it will keep showing you that content. And what happened was, I watched this one video. I don't know if it was a YouTube video or on TikTok, most probably on TikTok. And it was about people specifically at Sephora complaining about these middle schoolers coming in and using the Drunk Elephant products, which is, if you don't know, skincare products for their face. And what they would do is they would mess up that whole section. You know how they have like the samples that you can try products? They just messed it all up and made it all nasty. And I'm just like, what is going on in the world? And what I mean by what's going on is that most of these products are like retinoid, is that how you pronounce it? But like it's for like people that are actually old, and I think it's like 25 years plus you can start using those things. Like if it's a face wash, whatever, if it's a cream, whatever, you know what I mean? People get acne, it's no big deal. But it's the fact that all these young generation kids are getting influenced to use a retinoid to keep looking young. You did not come out of the womb yet, you just came. What do you need retinoid for? And the thing is, it's just funny. I mean, I think it's the most cutest thing when you see the videos and they're like putting on their skincare and their face is flawless. And I'm just like, okay, you're just putting this on for fun. But like, totally understand the face wash. But what's annoying, and I would be so triggered if I worked at Sephora, because when these people reenact what these kids are doing, I would be so angry. And the attitude too, oh no. But I totally understand why Sephora employees are frustrated. I get it. Also, at the end of the day, they are technically customers, but to an extent, other people also have to use the products and test it out. So when you make like these weird ass nasty concoctions, sorry, I'll tell you the next portion of what I was thinking when I gasped. It's just nasty, you know what I mean? So then the next person can't try it, and it's just unfair. While I was going in the concoction thing, okay. In the Drunk Elephant, there's I think that's why a lot of kids like it. So pretty much the top is like a push button, I guess you can say, and there's a little hole in between that push button that releases the product, okay? So when you release the product, it's like a cream or whatever, okay? And then what they do is they mix the product on there, right? And I'm like, oh, this is not sanitary whatsoever. And when I say sanitary, like they're putting the tanning drops. See, tanning is still alive. And then putting it in and then mixing it in. And I'm like, doesn't this overall make this now nastiness or messiness? But I was like, whatever, they're kids. But thing is, that same exact thing that they just did in their own personal product, they're doing at the store. The store is not your products until you buy it and bring it home. Don't do it to all the samples, people. Like, other people need to try. I mean, I'm a person not to try samples at the store unless it's foundation, because your girl knows if I just put one wrong thing on my face is going to start breaking out. So we can't have that at all. As you can tell, I love jumping around topics. And I was just looking at images just to kind of refresh what happened in the world several years now. There have been plaid pants, and I've definitely worn those plaid pants before, where it's like neon, like orangey or blue or pink, so forth, pants. And I'm like, why did that become a thing? But hey, at that time I wasn't dressing myself, so I can't blame myself. But then I saw one trend right here when we used to wear skirts and then leggings underneath. Now, the thing is, I am still a person that if I wear a dress, if it's one, too short, or two, I'm just a lazy bum and I really don't feel like sitting properly or anything, I'm wearing leggings, okay? I'm wearing leggings underneath. It just became a habit. And I remember religiously everyone back in the day would wear leggings with their skirt. And it's like those jean skirts too. And then it's just a thing. And I can't be a hater because I still wear leggings with my dress. If you see me, just ignore me, because pretty much what I'm trying to tell you is I like the dress, but I do not want to sit properly or do anything proper, but I like the dress. You know what I'm saying? So that's why leggings are your best friend all the time. But yes, I remember that trend. It was just weird. I mean, not weird. I think in that moment, I didn't think any of these trends were weird. I'll be honest. Minus the feather. We can't get over the feather. But everything else was like, okay, this is how we look like. This is what we should wear. This is how everyone else is, so let's fit in, that kind of trend. But now looking back, it's just like, what the heck were we thinking? What the heck? And going back to the hair dyeing, do you guys remember when people used to, I do not know what it's called, but pretty much you color the bottom of your hair. Oh no, there's two when I said bottom, because that could be kind of confusing. There's the tips of your hair people used to dye, right? And it would just be like a block color. Or the other one was the pop of color that you put at the nape of your neck. Either it would be rainbow or some other color. I'm not gonna lie, that one was pretty cool, because no matter what, I like those kind of trends where it's like you can see it but you don't see it. You know what I mean? You can put away the color and no one will notice, and then you could tie up your hair and you just see a full rainbow. That's dope. Like that still, I think, is still a thing, and it's still fun to kind of do those kind of things. I just don't like things where I can permanently damage my life and lose all my hair. But this is just the bottom of your hair, right? So it don't matter. But yeah, it's crazy what we do, and thank God for nowadays people making videos, whether it's a hairstylist or someone like Brad Mondo or the skincare gurus that are on YouTube that now tell us like, what you did was kind of wrong. Like, don't do this and ruin your skin, or don't do this and ruin your hair. I mean, obviously we still all do it. A lot of us still do it, whether we know the information or not. But thank God, because sometimes we just follow trends like, yeah, this is a smart idea. No, it's not. No, it's not. But today, what trend is there that I've noticed? So actually how this podcast episode today started was the number one bullet I put was a Stanley Cup. I'm not kidding you, a Stanley Cup. And I was like, oh, but think about how many trends there have been throughout the years that we all follow. Not all of us. Some of us, I guess, are trendsetters. But, you know, we all did these things, and that's how I got to the Stanley Cup. I'm not a hater on water bottles, okay? My parents will kill me if I bring another water bottle home. And to be fair, on my end, okay, a lot of them were free from college, or people give it on events, and I'm like, okay, free water bottle, yeah, sure. My parents like, why do you need another water bottle? I'm like, well, because it's free. But I have done my fair share of buying a water bottle, and usually nowadays it's always the ones that can hold the temperature. I forgot which brand I had before, but it's a bright neon orange. But the only annoying thing about that water bottle is that it doesn't fit in the cup holder. Now the thing was, when this Stanley Cup first came out, it was not something I was attracted to. I was like, oh, it's just a trend, it'll go away. But yo, it's been a year or plus, I think, and this thing is still going strong. People are still holding on to like Stanley Cups. People are getting it for Christmas. A Stanley Cup? I was just amazed. And me personally, I'm a lazy bum, so I do not like the handle whatsoever. And just this week, I'm not kidding you, I finally caved in. Caved in meaning I didn't buy it. But I think God was like, no. What happened was, I was like, you know, the Stanley Cup looks like a good idea, and I like the fact that the bottom portion narrows down. But I'm a huge person of not things spilling. I usually have a tea thermos cup, and one time that spilled and ruined my backpack for work. I've been scarred for life. So I like things that are leak proof or that can be put to the side of my backpack and not leak whatsoever. So was trying to look for another alternative similar to the Stanley Cup, which I believe is Brie Bear, something mate, with some accent mark on it. And it looked awesome, but guess what? Everything is sold out. And that's God's sign saying, that's now you do not need another cup. But like, you know me, I'm gonna try one more time, maybe in a few weeks, and see if it's there. But, it's crazy how that trend, and it's funny watching people make videos about the trends about these teenagers that are so small and they have like this huge cup, carrying the cups and so forth. I mean, hey, if they're drinking water, why not? At least they're drinking water, even if it's a weird trend. But we've had so many trends. Like I remember back in the day, there was the camelbacks, and my parents were like, why is this camelback like it was like a nipple, like you could bite on it and then suck. And then my parents were just like, this is weird. And I'm like, yeah, but everyone else has one. But it's just, water bottles are also a trend in and of itself. Everything we touch in life, whether it be your school backpack, which used to be back in the day, I forgot, was it something? It was two initials and then Colbean. Oh Lord Jesus, what am I talking about? School backpacks. Let's type here, school backpacks trend. But like, do you remember the backpacks that you used to write your names on? I'm forgetting. I was trying to say LL Cool J, but we all know that's not the right answer. Oh my God, what was the name? Oh, J Sport or whatever it was. I remember a lot of people used to have their name on their backpack and all that. But like from backpacks to socks to, water bottles, everything is a trend, okay? Everything. And once one person gets on the boat, and then it just starts like, it's just a downfall from there. Not downfall, maybe uphill from there. But I'm just surprised that the Stanley Cup is still, to this day, popular on TikTok and so forth. And I do believe it has to do with the fact that they release colors. Great marketing. They don't just leave it at, oh, okay, here's just Stanley Cup and done. No, we're going to make exclusive colors for this particular season. And if you want it, you have to go and chase and push down other people at Target and get it. Great marketing. Great. It's like the Black Friday of it all, like back in the day, if any of you remember, there was Black Fridays where you had to actually stand outside in line to get good deals. Nowadays, if you just go, there's no good deal, nothing. It's like if you went last week or the week before, it was $50. Now it'll say it's 20, or as an example, it'll say 50% off, but also $50. So it's like there's no change. So there's not that much eagerness. I feel like a lot more people also, like me, do not want to go to the store. So we order online. But yeah, there's just so much going on, so little time. Going from the tangent of Black Friday, yes, the marketing for Stanley Cups are very good. Changing the colors up, making it exclusive, and all that, very smart on their end, because it would have ended by now, I think, if they didn't have those exclusive colors. So what else is there? Can you guys think of anything? You're just like, oh my God, what? And I feel like there are certain trends too that happen. And for those of you who don't know, America is a very big country. So something that may be popular here in the Northeast may be popular down south or may not, or they may have their own thing that's popular there and not up here. So there's a lot of trends that happen throughout, depending on where you live in the country. It's not like we're just one big country and do all the same things all together. I guess the last topic I'll talk about is trends with celebrities and their clothing. Celebrities follow trends just like us, but maybe there's a little bit more based off of the models and the fashion shows and whatever their stylist gives them. One thing I do not understand for celebrities, and I guess it's like technically trends, but technically not a trend topic, is that why is it that everyone has an expectation that celebrities don't wear the same thing to events? Like, so every single new event, they have to wear something different. Like, I feel like that's I get it in the sense of, I've heard, I think it was Daniel Radcliffe, the man that played Harry Potter. Oh my God, what am I trying to say? When he was walking outside, I remember there was on the news that he would literally wear the same outfit every single day. I mean, God bless him. I'm pretty sure he was washing the clothes, but he was wearing the same outfit every single day because there was no difference. And what would happen is paparazzi, when you take the picture, it looks like it's the same photo on the same day all the time, even though it may have been in a span of like several weeks. So that is one strategy, and maybe that's why they don't want it to be a case where celebrities are coming to these events and wearing the same outfit, because then it looks like they were already there, and then the paparazzi can't sell their photos for such a high amount. But I always wondered that because, you know, I cannot, I mean, also I'm not a celebrity, but like if I have an outfit, I'm going to wear that until it has holes in the outfit, okay? But I understand, like, for instance, if you go to a wedding and there's one wedding, pretend this Saturday, and then next Saturday, yes, you yourself probably want different photos, but what if it's like after a year? I mean, maybe, okay, maybe I'm influencing myself, maybe the opposite opinion now, because technically, if you want nice photos, but a lot of these celebrities aren't posting those photos online. Do you know what I mean? But who knows? I mean, I remember every single time a celebrity rewears something, they're like, "Oh, she rewore it." They like make it a big deal, and I'm like, "Dang, it's not that big of a deal." But hey, who am I to say anything? I'm not a celebrity, okay? I just watch celebrities. But I will say that, oh, do you guys remember? Sorry, I went off topic again. I am going off topic. But there was that lady named Rachel Zoe. I believe that's her name. She was like a stylist. It's always fun to watch these things. Just the background of like how outfits are made, not made, but like given to actresses or actors. And the fact that it's, I think from my understanding, they're more renting it, or it's more like if it's not renting, it's kind of like, okay, I'm wearing Dolce & Gabbana, like, you know, just giving an advertisement to them. I did not know that. I literally thought in my head that these people went into the store and bought the dress or something like that and then brought it to the place to show off, right? Not show off, but, you know, glamorize themselves. But I did not know some stylist came in, gave them these options, and then they decided from there they have to rent it, make sure the dress is not like messed up so they can return it, which in theory is probably a better idea, because if you had to keep wearing something different every single time and you had to buy all these items, that would be a pain to like have all that. Like nobody got that much closet space, and to be honest, it's too much closet space. I have like seriously clothes in my closet, even for myself, that like I only wear during summer or winter, and you can't, or after a while you can't even wear it because too many holes in it. But yes, celebrities and their trends. I apologize. I did say that this was going to be my last topic, but the celebrity portion, it just triggered me. Not trigger. Trigger's a negative connotation, right? It influenced me to think of something else in terms of trends, and that's movies. Now, I don't think American movies, I could be completely wrong, but I don't think American Hollywood movies have trends. I've noticed that for Indian movies, Bollywood, mainly I'm talking about Mollywood, is that once a trend has set, they will continue to make movies like that for like a year and a half or so, and then finally a new trend will come. As an example, sometimes in Bollywood and all the Indian woods, right? You know, there may be one about like historical movies, right? Historical, where, you know, back in the day, Prince and Kings, right? That's a theme. Then there's another theme, specifically that I started watching, was like the mystery ones and crimes. Love those. But like it's all a theme, and then after a while it stops and goes away, and then all the people follow it because they realize, oh, a lot of people like that theme. But I'm like, why are we having themes for movies throughout the years? It's like, I get it. It's like a hit. That one movie was a hit, but like, why don't you just make your own unique movie theme? Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're all the same plot or the same, you know, overall story. They are different, but I just find it interesting because keep in mind they're releasing within 1.5 years, so they need time to record, right? So it's like as if like they all sat in a room. It's like, okay, this year our trend is crime, and then every single director and producer is like, crime. But do you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird the timing of how all of them just release at the same time. Maybe they all just sit together. Maybe I am right, my conspiracy. But it's just interesting, the trends with movies and so forth. But tell me, what movies are you excited to watch? What show are you excited to watch with trends? I know last time we had talked about the shows and Bridgerton coming up soon, but let me know what trends you had during your high school time and which ones were what you think is like, oh God, I regret it so badly, or ones that are like, man, I wish they brought that back. But, you know, I would like to first shout out everyone that took the time to listen to the first podcast as well as the second podcast, and I appreciate everyone's support. I found out the other day that you can give stars on Spotify. So if you are on Spotify, I'm not sure about Buzzsprout, if you want to give it a 5 stars, please and thank you. I would love it. But thank you once again for joining episode 3 of Mindful Tangents, and I hope to see you guys next episode.